Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's almost time!
Oh, why hello there. I'm Trash Pandacoot and if you're tuning in right now, I'm just doing my homework, getting it done. But it's almost time, where we talk about what happened on the fights last night. So without further ado, I'm gonna introduce in the blue corner, your favorite sauce and mine, A1. You dig?
Ooh, I'm blue
And
corner.
then
Okay.
and then in the red corner, the resident hater, uh, undefeated in word submissions. That's
Yes.
called a resident hater right there. You feel me?
Fuck Chris Curtis.
You said, yeah, they always introduce the blue corner first.
You're right. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
I figured I was the red corner, but I've always been introduced first, so I'm just always over here in the blue corner, feeling blue.
Yeah.
It's all good. We here,
Getting blue.
and it's almost time.
Word up.
So, to anybody that don't know what happened last night, this is the well, hold up. There it is. Yeah, the UFC Fight Night Live post-fight review for UFC St. Louis. Lewis versus Nascimento.
Louis.
And for those of y'all that been living under a rock or ain't been tuning in for this like month plus lead up or ever since it got announced, this was the first fight card back in St. Louis since 2018 or pre-pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And so they returned and they gave us a little bit of fireworks. Actually, this is a better card than I first thought it was. Just kind of, if I could talk like Anthony Smith for a second, on paper, I wasn't impressed. But you can't always go on paper because they delivered for the most part last night. I missed the first two fights, and it sounded like Dre caught the first one and then was kind of in and out over the next two. But we'll do our best to fill y'all in as far as what happened.
Word up. Yeah, the first fight of the night was JJ Aldrich against Veronica Hardy. And that's Dan Hardy's wife. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, also, so she got to keep her job.
Yeah, and who was also in her corner last night. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so he's still getting that UFC money.
Yeah, he's still involved. So that's good to see. Good to see married couples participating in things that they both like. You feel me?
We got another one of them on the card.
Yeah, we had another one that's coming up later, but it was kind of, so it started out kind of Namajunas Esparza-ish, where like neither one wanted to like do anything, you know what I'm saying? But then they kind of got acclimated going into the second round, and It was okay. Like I can't really think of anything spectacular that happened. So once they basically got comfortable, they started trying to go in and establish boxing. Veronica's was better than Aldrich's, and then when they went to the ground, it seemed like Aldrich was doing her thing, but it wasn't like Hardy wasn't scared of it. You know what I mean? Because she's a jiu-jitsu black belt as well. So ended up going to Hardy, unanimous decision. I don't believe it should have been unanimous, but whatever.
That was the one. I that's how I found out the fights was happening. Is you sent the Hardy by UD, and then you sent a GIF after, and it was like, really?
Yeah. I mean,
So,
and like this was probably one of 3 fights where I was like, what? And not because of necessarily who won, but because of the decision type. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that was that one. Hardy with unanimous decision. The fight after that, Charles Johnson against Jake Hadley from England. And this was a crazy fight because they went in there, and both of these dudes are excellent strikers. You know what I'm saying? Kind of both respected each other's power, and unlike the fight before it, there was a stalemate, but only because like when one would get a hit, the other one would get it back. You know what I'm saying? And so like you had this exchange going on. Also for Johnson, it was kind of weird for him because Hadley has this like, you know, he's in regular stance, but then every time he throws a jab, he's going to like elbow block or, you know, bone sal, you know what I'm saying? And like, so he kept hitting his elbow, and so he had to like come from different angles, but it was an interesting fight nonetheless, you know what I mean?
gotcha.
I want to say that one ended with unanimous in Johnson's favor as well.
Okay.
Fight of the night actually was Trey the Truth Waters and Billy Ray Goff. And really, it got fight of the night off of the first round because it was one of them ones where like somebody started dominating, made a mistake, and that changed the whole momentum back to the other side. And then like it could have gotten called at any time, but didn't. And like I'm glad it didn't because it made for, you know what I'm saying, some spectacular TV.
That seemed like a reoccurring theme last night. These refs were actually giving them quite a long leash to kind of make some things happen. And
those St. Louis refs, bro, they know what the fuck goes on.
No, let me holler at my man Keith Peterson real quick, man. I know
Bobby
what
Hill.
you was going through. I don't know what you was going through, Keith, but it didn't seem like your mind was in the octagon, fam.
So he's like, hey,
whiskey and cigarettes.
Look, you was letting these motherfuckers get off. Like
whiskey
bouncing head elbows, nigga, dribbling off the mat. and you're like, hey, defend yourself.
I'll allow it.
Defend yourself. These motherfuckers like, I can't defend myself. And you're like, well, you got to do something.
You better try.
You better try. I'm going to call it.
No,
and it was just, I don't know, man. Like it was a couple fights where I'm like, why haven't you stepped in between these motherfuckers?
Yeah. I was going to say, I caught the last 3 minutes of the Goff and Waters fight. That's about where I came in to this card. Didn't have a chance to run it back. Been doing family thing. By the way, happy Mother's Day to all you lovely mothers out there. Only the good ones, though.
Yeah.
Those
and the trans mothers, too.
Yep.
Y'all included.
Equality.
And you know what? Fuck it. Pet moms.
And pet moms, okay.
Yep.
So all the moms.
All the moms.
That are good.
You feel me?
My baby mama's in the blink.
Y'all.
That's a good transition point into the next fight. We have a new time mother. Actually took a 2-year break from competition to get married to a woman and have a baby. I don't know. I know how it works, but I'm gonna just say I don't know how that works. But we had Tabitha Baby Shark Hichi versus Tisha, formerly Torres.
White Tisha, white Brazilian Tisha. You know what I'm saying? It's White Tisha and White Keisha now. These names are becoming popular in the white community.
Man. But Tabitha Hichi versus Tisha Pennington, Raquel's wifey and baby mom. This one actually was. It was. This fight was actually a close fight. This was back and forth, and for having 2 years off, Pennington looked pretty sharp. I'm pretty sure she was still not in competition, but was definitely still hitting the gym. Was definitely keeping her tools sharp, to say the least. Because this was back and forth, and actually, I had a couple parlays I had just ran trying to make a little extra something, and had Tabitha Hichi on the first leg of like my 5 or 6 fight parlay that I built, and had me sweating by round 2 because Pennington was definitely the faster of the two. She was getting off more. That first round basically was all Pennington, other than I think the final 30 seconds. Tabitha Hichi was able to get in and get a takedown, I think with like 10 seconds left or something like that. Wasn't able to do much with it because the round ended. But the second round, Baby Shark came back and basically put that pressure on her from the start. And for four minutes or so of that second round, basically was just controlling her, was going for takedowns, but wasn't able to secure them. Like Pennington was doing really good, just with some fence work. And the one that she almost got her down, she caught herself with her hand and pulled herself right back up. But the pressure of the takedown attempts and just the octagon control won Baby Shark that second round. And then that third round was back and forth too. But personally, I felt like that Baby Shark got the better of the shots. She was also keeping a little bit of that pressure and the takedown attempts on her. I don't know officially how many takedowns she was even credited for in that, because yeah, it looks like full fight. It looks like, yeah, she tried 2 different takedowns and didn't get either one of them. Total strikes was 94 for Baby Shark and 92 for Tisha Pennington. The only difference is that Baby Shark was landing at a 51% rate to Pennington's 40%.
Word.
This fight ended in a decision, and it was a split decision, and Tabitha Hichi got the dub, rightfully so. I was kind of surprised it was a split, but at the same time, looking back at it, this is one of them fights that warranted a split. I can't be upset about it. They both definitely put it out there. Word. But yeah, Hichi did enough. She got the dub. Going into this next fight, this is actually the first leg, I believe, of our 3-way parlay here at It's Almost Time.
Parlay boys.
And it was Terrence McKinney versus Esteban Ribovics, or should I say Ribakicks.
You feel me?
And I'm going to go ahead with
the whole fight lasted 37 seconds. Was the whole fight.
Who was it that said that we saw some of Terrence McKinney's best boxing for the 3 strikes that he threw?
The other dude, the dude I don't know. That's not Laura Sanko or Michael Bisping or Dominic
the British
Cruz.
Dude?
Huh?
The British dude?
No, it's not the British dude. It's like he's not redhead, but kind of looks
Paul
like
Felder?
Not Felder.
Man.
Fuck. He's like there sometimes. He's like definitely the lesser known of all of them. Sometimes he's with Felder and Sanko.
Man,
and he's got a suit on. He's always got like a gray suit.
I'm gonna feel dumb when you say it.
No,
who it is.
And that's what I'm saying. His name slips my mind. Because again, the British dude is more memorable than him. And I don't know the British dude's name, but I know he's the British dude.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And not Michael Bisping. British.
Yeah,
dude.
right, exactly. But no, yeah, he said the 3 punches T-Rex threw was some of the best boxing they had seen up to date.
Up before he got a head kick.
Before he got a walk-off head kick.
No, and this was the definition of a walk-off, because Ribovic, he threw it was very reminiscent actually of the Gaethje Poirier fight, because he threw a 1-2 and then threw the high kick, and it was the same.
Right
it was a
after
right
the
high
two.
kick.
Yep.
And
And
caught
threw
him.
it so hard and precise. The same look he had is what he had going down.
Oh, shit.
Like he didn't change facial expressions. He just went to sleep.
Yep, just shut off. And Ribovics knew he had done it because I watched that replay, I caught another angle of it, and when he landed that, McKinney fell back into the cage and was just sitting there. And he looked at him. He goes, "No, I'm good. I don't even need to do anything," and just walked off.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Probably looked him in the eyes and saw that nobody was home. He's like, "Yeah, I don't know about this one, Bobby."
Right.
Man,
No,
but
yeah, that was, and you know what? Again, Kobe, I gotta apologize to you, fam, because this is one of them things where being a grown ass old man, it just paid off for me, fam. I've seen some things and some stuff.
For those of y'all
what
that
I'm
don't get the context or the reference, Kobe is my son, and his favorite fighter of all time, anyways, currently is Terrence McKinney. He's got a little
Word up.
personal card collection going. Like, that's his fighter that he collects. So
Word.
I asked him why. He goes, "Man, he just looks tough." I said, "All right, fair enough." Well,
So when this came about and I seen the parlay and I was like, man, I like Terrence McKinney too, but I just gotta those who watch know that I vote from the inside.
Oh no, I know this for sure
You know
because
what
you love Cameron Simon and
Yeah.
still picked
and
Talbot.
had to pick Peyton, fam.
Yep.
And that hurt too.
Yeah, but no. During this fight though, when it happened, I'm always like I'm that person. I think it's my ADD, or I just want to make sure people are enjoying themselves. But like if I've seen a show, I always be watching people's reactions, the things that I reacted to, like, oh, this is gonna trip them out. Let me see. Well, I looked over and Kobe instantly goes, and he stood on and he stayed that way for a good 5 seconds or so, and he goes, "I don't like Terrence anymore." And I said, "You can't do that."
You can't do that.
We only like winners.
I don't like Terrence anymore. No, fam, you can't do that. Like you just gotta listen. You just had to know in that one fight that Dawson was gonna wreck Ryu, fam. That's it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like,
and you called it. I can't even be mad about it. I was hoping it was gonna go the other way because again, with my son, he got a vested interest in it, and I was like, "No, we're Team McKinney here." Then okay,
yeah, he said, "We doing that." No,
and Ribovics
and
said,
even
no.
I was telling you, I was like, "Man, I know this might cause a ripple in our relationship, Nick." I said, "But I gotta go with my old man knowledge on this."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
But
So,
isn't Ribovics from Contender Series, right?
Yeah, he was in the Contender Series from last year, and I saw like that was another thing I remembered. I was like, man, he put on a performance there too. So, you know what I'm saying? Shouts to him. Shouts to Esteban.
Nah, I swear, bro. I'm gonna just start leaning towards Contender Series guys because they've already been battle tested.
They hungry, fam. Like, look, man. We gonna talk about it later, but I'm going to see my son.
Oh, no, I know.
I'm going to see my son, fam. You better clean your goddamn room, nigga, and listen to your parents.
Next fight, though, was personally my favorite fight of the night.
Yo, this was this was one of them fights that, so you see the matchup, right? And you're like, okay, we're going to kind of have like a striker versus wrestling match, right? And even the striker is like, man, if you get touched by this dude, it could be Mr. Sandman time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And just for context, we're talking Chase Hooper versus a Russian fighter, Vashilav Borisov.
Yeah. And this motherfucker was thick.
Yep, and Borshaw
You know what I'm
definitely
Chase,
on paper had the better hands. Hooper was
and
the better
Chase
ground
Hooper.
fighter.
Chase Hooper is only 24 right now. He was 20 when he got signed by UFC.
Yep.
So he's 24 now. And I say that to say that a lot of dudes his age that have been in UFC for that long, even though they've been in it that long, still have a lot to learn. You know what I'm saying? This kid did not. Like, probably weathered a whole minute of it was like playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out, fam.
Yep.
All he had to do was dodge uppercuts for a minute, waited for his opportunity, got a fucking takedown, and
he dropped him. He knocked him down. It was
that's what happened. He knocked him down and did not let him back up.
Like good ground and pound.
But what I'm saying is, like, even before that was on every position he was trying to change to and ended up either on top or on his back.
Yep.
Except for the last round, he ended up on bottom for maybe like a minute and then ended up reversing that to get back to mount.
Yep.
Like, the shit was crazy.
And this was one of them fights, like, it could have been stopped about 7 or 8 different points before it finally did get stopped. And when I say this, I mean Hooper, we watched a kid become a man last night.
Yeah. The second round was a definite 10-7 round.
No, I even said that the first round was probably a 10-8 round, just with the fact that he dropped him and then it was pure domination on the ground. That second round
is when it came the closest to being stopped. And I said, nigga, that's 10-7. like he didn't do shit to this little kid, fam.
Yep.
And I said this in the chat too. I said the scrambling, the body work, the fucking takedown defense is like the nigga Nakamura, fam. Yep. That's what it looked like. I said, because you remember when we seen his ass last year? His last fight, what was he? A minus 1,500?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or some ridiculous shit.
Something like that. No, and he came into this fight actually a slight underdog. He was like a plus 125 dog coming into this fight.
And I watched the live odds. That was the only one I watched. The live odds change in the middle of the round. He went from that to what'd you say started at?
It was like plus 125.
Yeah, and then like in the middle of the round went to like minus 325, fam.
Well, bro, and for good reason. I mean, I don't think he was in danger other than that first maybe 45
minute.
Yeah.
It was like, because he had like 3 minutes and 50 some odd seconds of control time in the first round.
Yep, and then that second round basically went in, was able to shoot and get it. I think it was a single leg or something like that, but got him right back down, right into some dominant positions. There was a small portion where Borshev was able to reverse. But again, it's like Hooper did his homework. This dude has been training and has obviously picked up on it, because it felt like he just knew where he needed to be to out-position him.
Yeah.
And he's starting to understand that position is probably that's the number one thing you go for. Get that position before you mount your offense, because that'll come. You get the right position, and it's easy work.
That's great advice for UFC. That's great advice for Apex, Nick.
Bro, that's great advice for life.
You know what I'm saying? Get the position first, then do work.
Yeah.
I like
you
that.
Feel me? No, that now that I'm thinking about it, when Hooper was on the bottom, he actually attempted the first I've ever seen double submission on the same person.
Oh yeah, no, the reverse.
He had a
reverse
triangle going for a heel hold, a toe hold, nigga.
Yep.
At the same damn time. I said, this motherfucker is a goddamn devil.
Yep, and this one ended with a little bit of controversy. This Chase Hooper won submission by Bravo choke.
Well, yeah, he went. So third round, he said, "You know what? I'm sick of playing with this."
No, this was second round.
Huh?
This ended in the second.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So second round, he said, you know what? I'm done playing with you. You know what I'm saying? And that came off of like a sprawl or something too. Like it was a defensive move,
Yep.
and he just sunk the other one in real quick, and he tried to roll out of it and got caught right there. And when he was going to reach, it looked like he tapped.
Oh, he
you know what I'm
tapped.
saying?
I don't care what y'all say. He tapped. It might have been one that this was the Chael Sonnen tap in the Anderson Silva fight where he tapped and then he tried to stop himself from tapping, but it was already too late.
Yeah, and people were like, oh well, and Laura Sanko's like, no, you don't have to tap twice. Yep. You just one time is all it takes.
Because sometimes you don't even have to tap once. If you say no, I'm done. You could verbally tap, like
verbal, right, exactly.
Or you don't even have to say tap. You could just yell out anything, and that's a verbal tap.
Yeah,
it is. Look
I'm
it up.
Done. I'm done.
You're not allowed to cry out in pain, or that's a tap.
Yep. No, you're right though. You're right.
Yeah.
This, like I said, this one was personally my favorite fight of the night. Like if I was Dana, Chase Hooper's getting 50K without a doubt. Like this dude came in against a scary Russian and found his man strength.
You know who would be a good ass fucking fight? I don't know if they're in the same weight class off the top of my head, but fucking God damn it, your son versus Chase Hooper.
Ooh.
T-Rex?
No, Chase Hooper versus Raul.
Yeah. They're both coming up on their man strength. They're both grapplers.
See, Hooper's lightweight, and I believe Rosas is a bantamweight.
Bantam, yep.
Damn, Hooper just must be tall then.
Yeah. No, dog, 135 again. Like, think about who's all in there. Like, I feel like 135 is probably the only weight class where everybody who's numbered is somebody.
Bro, the bantamweight is definitely the strongest top 15 division that there is right now.
For real.
And you have to be at that size because everybody's so goddamn technical.
Yeah.
Like there ain't nothing but killers there. You look at the top 5 and you got, what is it, like basically I think fucking Muhammad Makayev I think sits at number 6.
Yep.
In bantamweight. And if y'all have ever seen Muhammad Makayev fight, you'd be kind of like surprised, like this guy's only ranked 6. It's because you got killers like O'Malley and Wallace Willie. Aljamain's gonna be falling out of there because he went up to 45, but you also got Corey Sandhagen.
Nakamura's in that fucking category.
Nurmagomedov.
Song Yadong's in there. Peyton Talbot's in there.
Jose Aldo's trying to come back.
Man, actually, that's a fight that's coming up here. Is going to be Corey Sandhagen and Umar Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fucking banger of a fight.
At some point, I think Corey Sandhagen should get a shot at the BMF belt because he fights fucking killers. It seems like
no, bro. I agree. Like that. Like Corey Sandhagen is the caliber of fighter that deserves to fight for the BMF.
Now, is BMF just for that one class, or can anybody go for that bitch?
Anybody can go for it. You just watch featherweight go up and beat the lightweight because he's a BMF.
No, that's why I was asking, because I thought about that later, and I'm like, wait, they wasn't even in the same fucking class.
And I think that's why Max didn't get the respect that I feel he should have got going into that fight, because not only that, he's going up weight, but he's fighting one of the scariest 155ers in the fucking division.
My God, yeah.
But went in and made it look, I won't say easy, but I don't think at any point in that fight did Gaethje think he was winning that fight, because he was outclassed.
Because he was in there fighting Ip Man just like your boy yesterday in boxing that only got off motherfucking 48 strikes in 11 rounds. What's that, Lomachenko? That motherfucker. Okay. He was in there hitting that nigga 20 times for every one.
Yep. Well, no, and I mean that's kind of what Max does though in his fights. Anyways, you look at the Calvin Kattar fight.
Output, fam.
Most significant strikes landed in a fight, period. I don't think you can take away, I think it's like the last 10 fights that Holloway has had, and he would still hold the record for most significant strikes landed in a UFC career.
I don't care who you are. If you hitting 20-1, you can hit as hard as Derek Lewis, fam. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm hitting you 20 times to every one that you try to hit me, it's gonna come. You gonna go down eventually.
Yeah, but no, like I said, Hooper by submission, and it's officially a Bravo or Bravo choke, BRABO.
Yep.
Bravo
choke.
Next fight was actually the second leg of our
parlay, boys.
And I can't even be excited about it because my fucking guy dropped the shit again.
He said he dropped the shit again against the Dominican pitcher.
Man, nah, this motherfucker though, Waldo Cortez Acosta and our boy Robelis de Spain, aka heavyweight Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
He had one fight in the organization prior to this, but his last 3 fights combined lasted a total of 25 seconds. This dude usually goes in, gets it done, and gets it done quick. And Waldo Cortez Acosta got hit with like 2 shots and said, "Nuh-uh, I ain't doing this," and instantly shot down. The Spain, I think, he was only 5-0 going into this fight, so he's had 5 pro fights up to this point, and he has not learned the techniques to get himself even out of his feet, or off of the ground and back onto his feet.
Exposed.
Well, no, and you're right. But again, give this dude the right team to train with, and you iron out that detail, and he becomes a killer again. But
I just feel like, how do you get to be in the UFC if you literally cannot grapple? Like, what is he even doing here?
I mean,
because
he's got ridiculous
you can knock motherfuckers out before they grapple you.
Yep.
I guess.
Usually.
I mean, 5 times. That's not enough usually.
If you think about it though, too. I mean,
isn't that what Derek Lewis's whole career is though?
That's
yeah, but he got like 20 of them.
Right.
And he's a blue belt. He can get up.
No,
Derek Lewis, and we seen that in this fight. We didn't see it in the last fight though.
Oh yeah, the Jalton Almeida fight.
Derek Lewis is grandfathered in before everybody was actually good at fighting.
Right. And this
guy was not.
But hold on, I'm trying to. Somebody else was like that too, though.
Alex Pereira.
But he has a legendary record in another sport. This guy is just a 5-0 fucking Cuban dude.
Well, and what I will chalk it up to, the reason he was able to come over like he did with no ground game is because they're trying to inject some life into the heavyweight division. It's one of the
how do you explain Cyril Gane
organization right now?
No, I'm actually it's more of a rhetorical question. They get people who will sell tickets. I just think it's stupid that they sign fucking people who like can't fight.
And that's Conor McGregor now.
So,
that's true. Get his fucking ass out of here.
So this fight went to a decision, and this was by far the most boringest fight of the fight card last night. Like, Cortez Acosta was so worried about getting hit, he would take this dude down, but once he got him down, little rabbit punches. This shit reminded me of fucking the Tim Sylvia days, bro, and I thought we was done with that shit. Fighting not to lose instead of fighting to win. This dude was scared to stand with dude, and I don't blame him. I'm talking like I would go in there and stand with them. Hell no. But
you know what they say, right? They say, just win this time. Look good next time.
I just looking that lackluster don't give you a lot of opportunities for next time. You ain't gonna get a good name next time.
No, yeah, it is tough. It is tough because you have to win, but you also have to not be boring. It's like, I think the play is to win. I feel like for a little bit, just get wins, and then once you've gotten a couple of headlines, start fucking yapping.
Yep. But yeah, this went to a unanimous decision. I want to say Cortez Acosta had about 12 minutes of ground control time through the entire fight and didn't take the dude out. Like, that's what kind of surprised me.
It is lame, but like, also, What the fuck is Despain sitting there getting rabbit punched for? Get the fuck up!
I mean,
he
he
can't.
couldn't get up. Obviously,
Exactly.
He doesn't have the technique to.
Exactly. I can't blame Acosta for doing this when Despain let him and do that shit.
Right.
Well, and the thing that bugged me about this too is that Acosta was not coming forward at all, was taunting him to get in close enough so he could grab him. Like,
pull guard.
Acosta was scared to engage, period, after getting hit twice. Said, nope, you come here, and then was like showboating or like taunting a little bit, getting him to come in. And I was yelling at the goddamn TV too, because I was like, bro, don't play into his game. You got an 8-inch reach on this motherfucker. And there's no reason for you to have to even be that close to touch him, but you're getting too close, and he's exposing it. And sure enough, unanimous decision for Cortez Acosta, and I dropped my pick. So fuck.
It was a good pick though. That was just that was a solid pick. Even though
it was, but it wasn't. Obviously, look at the results, but.
But like he was the favorite, so
I mean, not by much. And actually, he was more favored than I thought, because on UFC's site they only had him like a minus 118 or something like that. Which usually when you're hyped like that, it ain't no Bo Nickel odds that they gave the dude.
Yeah, so it looks like it closed at 250.
Yeah, it closed at minus 250. And Acosta got it. So I mean, I could say, I guess, good game, but man, fuck that shit. That was a boring ass fight. You're better than that. I watched Acosta sleep motherfuckers. Like, I saw a highlight reel.
Oh, where the softball pitch punch?
Yep, where he his opponent straight lost function of his leg. Was doing the stanky leg.
Yeah.
Before getting completely KO'd. And that even was a little controversial, because I think the one that put him out, it was as he was like trying to get away. He had his back turned and he kind of got hit in the back of the head. But hey, dude was already dancing around funky anyways. And actually this one, the last fight led into the final leg of our
parlay boys.
And it was Sean Woodson versus Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres.
The sniper.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, Woodson looked really good for the first 2 rounds of this fight. Looked really good, looked in control of the fight, like just was picking the better shots. He was a hometown favorite, obviously. He's from St. Louis, so he had the crowds back. But I'll tell you what, man, Alex Caceres, he's got that dog in him.
That's right.
Because he made this a lot closer of a fight than I anticipated it was going to be, especially the way that the first couple rounds were going. I was like, oh, this is going to be an easy dub for Woodson. Caceres made him work for it in the third. And actually, this is one of them, like, for as good as the second round was for Woodson, Caceres was actually getting off a little bit, getting some offense going, to where I was kind of surprised. If Woodson wouldn't have been from St. Louis, this probably would have been a split. I still would have given it to him. But this was a competitive fight. Woodson got the unanimous decision victory. And so with that, we got our official tallies for the It's Almost Time 3-Way Parlay Championship 2024. We are officially 15 fight cards into the year.
Damn.
We got Cornbread in the lead with 12 notches out of the 15.
Word up. And an asterisk.
Yep. 10 with Paul wins. And an asterisk. And then I'm at 8. So it could be worse, but I'm a little over 50% right now. So I really need to step this shit up if I want to make this competitive.
He said if you want to make this competitive.
No, and I mean, don't get me wrong, even just based off of the fight cards that they had last year, we still got about another 30 fight cards left.
We got Bobby Hill ref in this match. He ain't going to stop it. It's all right.
What's that?
I said we got Keith Peterson ref in this one. He's not going to stop it. You're good.
Bobby Hill? Hell no. That nigga was worried about Connie. That's why he let all that shit slide.
Yeah. Now, the upset of the night was the next match after that, and that was Diego Fajeda versus Matus Rebecki. Rebecki came in, I think it was on like a 10-fight win streak, He's had 3 or 4 fights in the UFC already and has looked dominant since he debuted. I don't think anybody's given him a challenge. Fajeda, though, going into this fight, said he knew what the score was. He knew what to expect. He knew that Rebeski, because there's an M in there. I guess they just don't put in his name, but that's how you're supposed to say it is Rembetsky. He knew that Rembetsky was going to be super strong and very, very aggressive that first round because it's worked well for him. He's able to put the pressure on his opponents and get him to wilt. Well, Fajeda, this dude ain't a slouch. This guy isn't new to the UFC. I want to say he's got about 10 years in the organization. So he's seen some shit. And he's familiar with these up-and-comers. A lot of times, again, you pick experience over fucking over hype, right?
Yeah.
And
it's the playoffs.
Because really Rembetsky was like a minus 490 favorite to win this fight.
Yeah.
And he was the highest closing favorite, odds-wise, to win. And Fajeda ended up getting a 3rd round TKO. And, man, let me tell you, after 2 rounds, man, I don't know how Matus could even see.
Man.
Because, like, that left eye started swelling, and towards the end of the second, got his right eye busted where it started bleeding. You go into that 3rd round, and he said...
Yeah.
And really it played into Fajeda's favor because I like that 3rd round was pure Diego. Got him out with some good shots, got him to drop, and then just swarmed him on the ground, a little ground and pound TKO.
That's it.
It was because Rebeski has no hair and Fajeda has a lot of hair, so it's like a helmet. So
with 10 seconds left in the match, he got that TKO.
Yep, this is another one. It could have been stopped earlier, but like was Bobby Hill?
I believe so. I believe so.
Man, but yeah, the Fajeda with the biggest upset of the night. Actually brings us into the co-main event of last night's fight.
Second biggest upset of the night.
What's that?
No, the second biggest upset of the night was your boy Alonzo after that.
Bro. Yeah, no, this was a really fast fight. I actually almost missed it because
the whole fight lasted 12 seconds.
Yep, Alonzo Metafield versus Carlos Ulberg. I've always liked Ulberg, though. And I know it's not quite Australia, but he's from New Zealand. I mean, that's like their little brother down there, right?
Man. Yeah, that's Australia.
He's a Kiwi. It's close enough.
Word up. Yeah. Metafield,
but yeah, no, they it literally what happened was Alonzo pressed in, caught him with a nice 1-2. Ulberg ate it and just fired one right back and dropped him and then swarmed him. Got I think like 2 or 3 shots on the ground, and that was all she wrote.
That was it.
Said, no, let me just get this done and over with real quick. Had a long flight. I've been traveling. Let's just do what we came here for, and I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah. It's like that basketball player who's like, job is finished. I can go home now. Finally won world championship.
Oh yeah, Jokic.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, we have to do a parade. Oh fuck, I want to go home.
Bro, this motherfucker was in the finals, bro, going to the locker room in between quarters so he could check on his horse. The horse that he bet on in the Derby.
Hell no.
Like this dude is just like basketball is just a side quest, even though that's his main quest.
Right. Hell no.
How do you feel about winning the world championship? I'm very happy the job is done and I can go home now.
Yeah, I can go home.
It's like clocking out, boys. Call me next season. Fuck off.
Man. But yeah, actually, both Diego Fajeda and Carlos Ulberg pulled themselves a performance of the night. And let me say one last thing about the Chase Super fight. Dana, you better have paid that little man, that growing man, because he earned it. That was pure domination. You just watched, like I said, I think we watched his balls drop in that fight. Pause.
Right.
But nah, that person, that's why I keep saying this was my fight of the night. I feel like Hooper should have got a bonus, but not saying that Fajeda didn't deserve that bonus after that performance, after weathering that storm from Rembetsky, come back and to get the TKO late in the third. Yeah, with 9 seconds left. He's like, nah, we don't even need the judges. Just let me put them out here right quick. Go ahead and step in, and I'm gonna collect this extra 50K. Again, Olberg for 12 seconds of work got himself an extra 50K. But and I misspoke. That wasn't the co-main. That was the co to the co-main. Co-main event was Joaquin Buckley versus Nursultan Ruzaboyev. And man, I thought like, okay, so to even break down how this fight happened, you got to go back to the UFC 300 media day. Dana's at the stadium or the arena answering questions. Everybody's throwing stuff at him. And randomly, Joaquin Buckley finds his way to a mic and says, hey, big boss man, ain't nobody trying to see Derek Lewis fight for 5 rounds. Ain't nobody want to see that. Give your boy the main event. Let Derek Lewis take that co-main and let me headline my hometown. Dana, I think he liked the enthusiasm, and this is why dude got the co-main event anyways. He wasn't able to fully get himself that main event status, but made enough noise they made him co-main event. So you got to give him props for that. We met Joaquin Buckley at International Fight Week last summer, and we was out in the line waiting to get in, and all of a sudden I look over, I was like, is that Buckley? And it was. And I was like, bro, I remember, what did I say to him? I was like, man, that's dope that you would even come out here to chop it up with the fans. And he said, I ain't come out here to chop it up. I'm trying to get in.
He said they wouldn't even let me in.
But nah, he ended up making it in because we saw him in the place, in the spot, got a picture with him. And just was a really chill dude. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less. Dude's a St. Louis native. Actually, I think he was rocking Cardinal shorts when we met him. But yeah, no, he let his mouth talk a little bit. Got this co-main event against Ruzaboyev, which really, when they first announced this, and when I saw the weigh-ins, I saw the face-off, I was like, man, I don't know, like, I want
how
him
this
to
is
win.
gonna work.
I want him to win, but Ruzaboyev is no slouch. This is a big ass fucking fighter. And let me double check, because if you look his prior 2 fights, he beat Pereira and he beat Dumas, both by TKO.
Cedricus, yep.
And what was it? He's not Russian. He's Russian junior.
But he's like 6'4", 6'5" or something. Like,
this dude is huge for being a welterweight. And Buckley, I mean, he's got some size to him, but it's more wideness than it is, tallness. And that I thought I wanted Buckley to win, but I thought what was going to happen was the hype from the crowd was going to be too much for Buckley, and he was gonna overcommit and get caught. And he almost did a couple times. Like, that first round was back and forth, but really the difference in this fight were the takedowns and the control time. Yeah. And Buckley did what he had to do, and I'm not going to say like, oh, he laid and prayed on him, because he was active when he was in the guard. He was trying to hit him. He was trying to get some shots. Ruzaboyev, though, made it very competitive for as lopsided as this fight ended up getting. Ruzaboyev was very competitive. He made this a fight, and I think in the second round, actually, they were down, and he just started throwing scissor kicks. Yeah. Ended up touching Buckley in the head, who was a grounded opponent. Yeah. And so they stopped the fight briefly, asked Buckley if he was all right. He said, yep. He said, where do you want it? You want the position back? He said, no, stand him up. Stood him up, and I think he took him down again. But unanimous decision victory. And actually, if you went and looked at the fight odds for this one, the over-under for over 1.5, was heavily this wasn't supposed to go the distance.
Right.
According to the matchmakers. This should have been done in 1.5 or less.
This guy looks like he's straight out of Pike County. I don't know if he's Russian at all.
Who Ruzaboyev?
Yeah, this guy looks like he's from over here in fucking Pittsfield.
Well, yeah, because he's not full on Russian. He's Russian Junior. He's Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I think he's from Pike County. I swear this guy drives derby cars.
So you saying he's from Uzbekistan, Illinois?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I almost got the name. I know who he reminds me of. Fuck. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll think of it. He looks like a redneck derby car driver from around here.
Oh, shit.
I thought you was just gonna drop the name Dick Trickle just because, but
that'd be good. No, I can't think of his fucking name.
That'd be good.
But this actually, while you thinking of that, we'll start to jump into the main event of the evening, who this fight card was built around, and that was Derek the Black Beast Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento.
Nascimento said he was in his prime, Derek Lewis, because he had a stem cell surgery, and he was like, "I'm at 100%. I might be more than that."
Didn't he credit Popeyes?
Yep.
They said, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I want to shout out to he was like his trainer or whatever for his regiment, the nutrition people or whatever, and Popeyes.
And Popeyes.
Yeah, in the post fight, they said, "What do you think is the secret to your longevity?" He's like, "Man, I thought it was Popeyes, but now they're telling me I'm almost 40. I shouldn't be eating Popeyes, so I don't know."
But now this the first 2 rounds of this fight was giving me flashbacks of the Gelton Almeida fight. Not quite as boring because Nascimento was able to basically go in and get like a single leg trip, getting them down, and got into some dominant positions to the point to where like he was actually trying to finish. He was threatening a little bit there on the back, was trying to get a rear naked choke in, but we already know Lewis is well versed. Lewis is one of the few fucking fighters I've ever seen, though, that when he's finally done with being controlled on the ground, this motherfucker just stands up. He just gets up.
Yeah.
And up to this point, I mean, Almeida laid on him, but it sounded like that Lewis was dealing with a lot injury-wise and just wasn't.
Yeah, he had like fucked up shoulders and like sinus infection or something going into that fight.
Well, I also think he was mad by the tax rate of how much money he was losing fighting in Brazil because of their taxes too. Right. So I think he was a little mentally defeated. Like, man, y'all ain't even paying me proper. I'm gonna just lay here. I'm gonna show you. But yeah, no, first 2 rounds, Nascimento, it was looking like it was going to go that way, that Nascimento was just going to outposition him, ride the ground, and he was trying to wear him down to where he could get a sub in. But again, Lewis just said, nope, I'm good. I'm ready to stand up, and just, he's like the Undertaker, be out, like laying flat on his back, and then boom. And it's like, what? But got himself back up, ended up getting a 3rd round TKO. I think basically his game plan was to show a little bit that he could hang with these ground guys. He actually tried the takedown in the first round.
He got one successful one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then post fight was saying that, he felt as like, the best that he ever did, and whatever is next, bring it on, and we'll just see. He was like, but I'd rather have a 3-rounder so I can explode a little bit more.
He said, give me.
I was trying to pace myself.
He said, give me another cab driver from Brazil, man. I like this.
Yeah. He said, man, I'm finna go home and tear my wife up, man.
Bro. But no, so this was a 3rd round TKO, 49 seconds into round 3. Officially, Derek Lewis attempted 4 takedowns, got one of them. And Nascimento only went for 1 takedown and got it, but had that control time. I don't even remember how it played out like that in the 2nd round, that he was able to get down, or maybe it was a sprawl. I don't know officially, but I think, yeah, he wanted Nascimento to kind of blow some of his wad a little bit, so to speak, and then really turned up the pressure in the third round and took one shot on the feet, and he went down. Little bit of ground and pound, and that was all she wrote. Derek Lewis by TKO victory. Kind of psyched you out or had you going there for the first half, the way he was taking everything off.
Man,
you hit the group chat. You said, I think he's retiring.
No, he started stripping, fam. I'm like, is this nigga done?
Nah, he mooned the crowd too.
Yep. Took his cup out. They had to tighten the frame on that.
Yeah, well, bro, no, and then he threw it at an announcer who caught it and then placed it next to him. I'm like, I wouldn't have even been touching that, but
hell no.
I guess the post-fight interview that Dana was given, Dana agreed to sign the cup. I don't know what they're doing with it or where it's going, but Dana White signed the cup.
Hell no.
Yeah,
it's probably going in the museum.
Probably something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, that was UFC St. Louis card, Fight Night Live. Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. All in all, not a bad fight card. Again, the most boring fight of the night was the Cortez Acosta and Despain fight, and of course, it had to be on my parlay. I'm done dwelling on it though, because you know what? There's some more fights next weekend, and we get to pick our parlays here, right now. It's actually we didn't get to do this last week because I don't know where you were, but I know Paul fell asleep on me. And I had to run this solo. I'd like to apologize to anybody who watched it because running solo, I wasn't expecting it. I haven't been smoking a lot of weed, and I hit a fat dab right before going on. And about 10 minutes in, I said, like got like jitters and almost had a panic attack, but got through it. It wasn't my best performance, but I stuck it through, and we're here now. So. We're looking ahead to next week. We got a UFC fight night at the Apex in Vegas. This main event: Edson Barbosa versus Lerone Murphy.
Word up.
So again, we was taking a quick peek at this before we even started the pod, and our resident haters like, man, I don't even know where to start with the parlay picks. I don't know a lot of these guys. The more I'm looking at it, though, this has a potential of being a really good card.
Yeah, it's got a few sleepers on there.
I mean, we got Brazilian Halle Berry fighting.
Yeah,
I'm always okay with that, even if she doesn't like. I think her last performance was a little lackluster. She caught an L, but she fighting Angela Hill. Luana Pinheiro is actually ranked number 9.
Boy, Abus Magomedov.
You said Abus?
Abus, yeah.
Yep, he's fighting Warley
Tom Nolan, that should be decent.
Okay, actually taking a look at this, I know who my parlay pick is. If I can go first and lock it in since I lost.
Go ahead.
Give me Themba Garimbo.
Themba Garimbo.
Yes.
I want to hear John. I want UFC to sign one of those guys from Africa whose names are like, you know what I'm saying? And then I want to hear John Anik try to pronounce that shit when they announce him.
Hey, whoever can get the African fighter with the translator, nigga, that's gonna be dope. He says that he wants to kick this nigga's ass and that he cannot wait until he gets in the octagon.
He wants to go see the Packers from Green Bay.
From Green Bay.
So yeah, Themba Garimbo.
Word up.
I'll let y'all take a little peeky peek and
Oh yeah, that's what I was doing, pulling up the old DraftKings so I could lock this bitch in.
And I don't even know what the odds are, so
that's okay.
Did you lock in already, Paul?
No. I'm just signing into my app. No, you can go if you want. I don't know yet.
So my instinct is telling me to pick Murphy.
Lerone?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
a tough ass though against a veteran and Edson Barboza.
I know.
Don't let this fucking
Tom Nolan would be the only other one that I'd probably go for.
What was you gonna say over there, hater?
I was gonna say, don't let this guy who's only on an 8-win streak throw off your bet.
Only got 8 notches. Don't let this loser tell you who to pick.
That you knew where I was going with it.
I knew exactly where you were going.
Oh fuck, I don't know either though. This one's tough.
Man.
Do it.
Do I take a chance or do I go for the one
you got a little bit of a lead, man. You playing with house money at this point.
He said you playing with house money.
That's true.
Man, go on, give me Lerone, man.
Okay. I was actually I figured for sure you was gonna pick your boy Chaos.
Yeah, I seen that. I don't know the other dude though, and he looks kind of low key Brazilian, but he might just be from Detroit.
Well, and from a look of it, just going back, looking at Harris's record, anyways, in the UFC, only guy that I see that he's lost to since he's been fighting for the organization was Shavkat. And yeah, he's got a submission win over.
Motherfucker to lose too.
Man, yeah, he's got submission wins. He's got some KOs. Got a unanimous decision over Gooden, and then just his last win, 3rd round submission over Jeremiah Wells. So he's been through some wars. His official stats and records: he's got 5 wins by knockout, 6 by submission, and 6 first-round finishes. So that might have been better you stayed away from that fight.
Where is the UFC Fight Pass at? Like where they do that shit? Because they got the Apex, they got the Fight Pass, and they got the Performance Institute in China.
I don't know for sure.
Was Fight Pass Fight Island?
I think Fight Pass is like a thing that you can pay for, like a subscription, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I know it's that, but I'm saying it's like a division though of UFC. You know what I'm saying? Like the Apex.
Oh, you're talking like the invitationals where they do like ground game and shit, contests and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to say they might use the T-Mobile in Vegas depending on the size of it, because you remember they had a little Fight Pass thing going on at the actual international fight.
Yeah, downstairs from it or whatever.
Yep. Speaking of Fight Pass, do you hear what might be in the works? A submission competition between Anthony On Paper Smith versus Alex Pereira.
Damn.
One, and how it started out is again because Anthony was saying, hey, like, dude's not a well-rounded fighter. He's just really good at one thing. He's phenomenal at one thing. And basically has wrote off Alex's ground game, period.
And all the rest of y'all in that division suck so bad at that one thing, that's all he needs.
Well, no, and I think, again, a lot of people think that his ground game is non-existent. I don't think that's the case anymore.
The guy's from Brazil and trains with Glover. There's no fucking way that's
no, exactly. And this is how I think that Anthony doesn't know what he's getting himself into, because Alex even said, hey, if you accept this, we can even start. I'll give you top position starting out. And we'll see how this goes for you.
That being said, I think Smith submits him.
Okay. I'm Team Poeton over here. I just want to see this dude do good, though.
No. I would like to see him win because Anthony Smith annoys me, but Anthony Smith is a black belt, and I know he's pretty damn good at grappling. And also belts don't mean shit because Demetrius Johnson submits the fuck out of black belts. You know what I'm saying? He's only a brown belt. So
he just submitted a dude that was 265 or something in a submission.
Yeah.
Demetrius Johnson was kind of like the exception to the rule, though. I would like that dude has such a competitive spirit. He's got that dog in him to where there's no quitting that dude. He will fight anybody, and he will probably look good doing it too. He's just, there are rare breeds like that. Him and Max Holloway are cut from the same cloth.
Or they just don't stop.
They don't, and they're elite. They're very talented at what they did, and they worked hard to get there. Like,
yeah,
Holloway,
like John Jones.
What's that?
I said like John Jones.
So have you looked? Have you had enough time to digest and figure out who you picking over there?
Honestly, it's a tough one. This is a tough pick. I went back and forth on who I'm gonna pick for this fight because I was looking up their shit. I think I'm gonna go with Adrian Yanez.
Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick, man.
But this other guy, Vinicius, that's a cool ass fucking name. I almost picked him just for that.
Just off the name.
Vinicius Salvador, like I don't want to fuck with that guy. He sells hella fucking drugs. Sounds like a drug lord name. Vinicius Salvador.
Man.
Maybe I'm just thinking of Pablo Escobar and being racist a little bit. My bad.
Just a little bit, man. You're gonna get us canceled over here. No big deal.
Ain't nothing. That's why you're on Real Ninjas Network now.
Yeah, that's right. This is, I think, we about 2 months into being presented by Real Ninjas Network. Shout out to Prez for even giving us the opportunity. I know we kind of had our foot in the door because we got the co-host of a Real Ninjas podcast and Morning Ninjas and a contributor to Grill Talk right here. So we still appreciate it. We definitely like the extra platform to be on, because anytime we can get this out, get more eyes on it, it always helps.
So it's Garimbo, Murphy, and Yanez, right?
Yep.
Boom.
There
Minus 240. Or plus 240, my bad.
With the completion of the parlay is gonna be my completion as well, fam.
Parlay boys.
Ooh. Well, no, I mean we covered just about everything. The only other thing I'll really mention right quick is Fight News. Dana White says that by the end of 2024, they are doing away with cards at the Apex. He's starting to get back out on the road and bringing this show everywhere. I think a lot of people, if you watch this, are very excited about that news. We're not going to have many more Apex fights, or at least hopefully not too many more. We got this fight night.
Hopefully that doesn't mess up fight night and like you go back to doing like one a month of a numbered one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I have a feeling they've got, like, they're finally at a spot to where they can get to everywhere that they weren't able to go. So they're able to pull that. We got the fight night next weekend. We got a 2-week break in between, and we got UFC 302, Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Diamond Poirier. You got Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa as the co-main event. And like I said, I mentioned this last week solo, but every fight card pay-per-view that Paulo Costa has been on, and there's been a title fight, the champions have lost. And this is a 100% ratio.
Statistic.
Yeah. It's one of them random things, should have no bearing on the fight. But we team Dustin over here. I got nothing but respect for Islam, but I would really like to see this the Diamond hold some gold, some true gold, before calling it a day. Because and a lot of people are like, oh, he earned this, he deserves this. Well, this sport don't give a fuck what you deserve. It's what you go out there and you do on any given night. So all that shit aside, I just hope Poirier shows up and shocks the world. Fight after that is the UFC Fight Night. They don't even have a main event listed yet, but it is June 8th, and this one is in Louisville, Kentucky. We might have to make it down for it because we got old boy Son representing. Raul Rosas Jr. is on the card versus Ricky Tertius. And yeah, there's a couple other fights announced. Dominic Reyes versus Dustin Jacoby. No main event listed yet, though, which is very weird for.
They have the Rosas fight as the one in place right now.
Do they?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the first fight that pops up when you.
Yeah, that's the first fight that showed. But if you look at this, it also saying.
Yeah, to be right.
I don't know who TBD is, but they better be strong.
Right. Better be cold.
Yes, sir.
Do you see that do you see that the Russian government froze like a bunch of fucking Habib's businesses and accounts because he owes $3 million in taxes?
Yeah, 300 million rubles, or about 3.5 million US dollars in back taxes. It just sounds like that they running low on funds for that war machine over there. But
right,
yeah,
I'm a stop right there. We ain't getting political here because we here for the fights. I don't want to be called Islamophobe again, or yeah. Just I don't know. Hey, maybe this means we'll see Khabib back in action, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, on that note, I think we're gonna call it a night. I still gotta get me a little something to eat, get myself prepped for the work week. But thanks again to everybody who tuned in tonight. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, leave a comment, say fuck you, do whatever. Just engage, help us out. Let that algorithm pick it up and get a spread to some other people. Definitely enjoy sitting here chopping it up about the fights, and we enjoy y'all's company. So thank you. But for now, it's your boy A1, and I'm signing out. Y'all have a good night.
Holla.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is